Hello, I'm High Heel Knight. Welcome to my channel. This is my miniature review of Dark Phoenix. Now, unlike my usual miniature reviews, I'm going to give some spoilers in this presentation. I pretty much have to. Dark Phoenix is the unofficial grand finale of the X-Men cinematic universe, which started all the way back in the year 2000. It's also a retcon and remake of X-Men The Last Stand. Plus, there's a lot of tropes that are persistent in the X-Men cinematic universe. So, in order for me to just distinguish what this film brings from the other movies, I'm pretty much going to have to give spoilers. Just the plot points alone is a bit of a spoiler, so I might as well just give a couple of spoilers with this review. So, unlike in X-Men The Last Stand, in which Jean Grey was shown that she had a dormant personality that was very destructive and very powerful that Professor Xavier suppressed, in this film, it takes place during the mid-90s, and the X-Men rescue some astronauts that are in orbit and their shuttle has been damaged. And during that rescue process, a mysterious cosmic force enters Jean Grey, who is now a young adult, and that cosmic energy amplifies her powers by 1,000-fold. Now, she's always had problems struggling with her powers, but now with this new energy, she becomes incredibly dangerous to herself, to others around her, and probably the entire planet or even the entire universe. So there are some forces that want to continue to nurture her and help her and protect her. There are some forces that see her as a threat and just want her eliminated. And there's a third force that has their own agenda with the Phoenix energy. That's what Jean Grey is called because of the spirit. She's called the Phoenix. So getting a bit of those type of spoilers, like I said, there's a third entity, and that third entity are space invaders and aliens trying to essentially take over the world. Now that sounds a little strange, but I sort of liked it because it was like, okay, great. So it's not just going to be mutants versus mutants or mutants versus the government. We have some brand new antagonists. Okay, wonderful. We're going to do something different. And speaking of something different, and the movie starts off very strongly because the X-Men are actually adored by the public. They have a direct line with the president. That's why they went to go save the astronauts. They are adored. They are loved. They are respected. It's like, okay, finally some progress, some growth, some change. We're going to do something different. Wonderful. But pretty much as soon as Magneto enters the story around the beginning of the second act, it slowly but surely goes into all the old X-Men tropes. It slowly but surely goes to all the things that happened pretty much beforehand, and it becomes mutant versus mutant, and mutants versus the government. And yes, at the end, the mutants are fighting against the alien invaders, but the alien invaders, they're just bad guys for the sake of bad guys because we need the heroes to punch a bunch of people in the third act for a big fight. And it's like, in fact, there's a line by Magneto, which is in the trailer, where he talks to Charles Xavier, and he says, "You're always sorry, Charles, and there's always a speech, and nobody cares." And then Charles starts saying his speech anyway, and Magneto goes, "Oh, here we go." And that's how I felt pretty much as soon as Magneto entered this week. Because like, oh, here we go with the same old, same old. In fact, with Magneto, he starts off wanting to be a nice guy and turn a new leaf. Oh no, something tragic happens. Now he's a bad guy. Oh wait, he finally sees the light, so he's a good guy again. Oh no, he's a bad guy, he's a good guy, he's a bad guy, he's a good guy. All throughout this series, he's worse than the Big Show in the WWE. It's like, pick a lane and stick with it already. And it just falls apart pretty much from that. So, and I was just so disappointed. I was so let down. I was like, here we go again. Thank goodness this is pretty much the unofficial grand finale of this franchise, because after nearly 20 years of the same old tropes with essentially the same old characters, different actors, different time periods, but essentially the same characters and the same problems, like, I'm done with this, and I'm glad this franchise is pretty much done with it. So hopefully when Disney gets their movies about the X-Men going, it'll be something fresh and new. But for now, I can't recommend Dark Phoenix, or at least I can recommend the first act. But after that, it's the same old, same old. If you've seen the other X-Men movies beforehand, you've pretty much seen them all. Oh, and to make matters worse, okay, so you don't have Wolverine because Hugh Jackman is not going to be a part of the franchise anymore. You got Jennifer Lawrence, who hates being part of the franchise, so you find a way to sideline her. But Quicksilver, who's the best part of these newer versions of the X-Men, he winds up getting sidelined early on also. So it's like, okay, so the three top characters of this entire franchise get either underutilized or not used at all. Yeah, I can't recommend this movie. Dark Phoenix, just avoid it or wait for streaming. But yeah, I don't recommend Dark Phoenix at all. So those are my thoughts on the film. I would love to know what you thought of the movie. Be sure to share whatever comments you like in the comment section. Be sure to like, share, and subscribe, or dislike, share, and subscribe. Once again, I'm High Heel Knight. Thank you for watching, and remember, find inspiration everywhere.